Before the first spark, before the first heartbeat of light, before existence gave birth to the universe, there was only the fabric, a quiet sea of possibility, threads humming in the dark, stitches waiting to be born. Tonight, glitch, we step through the first doorway. We enter the story of reality itself. From the 12 primordial threads, to the photons who carry memory, to the trapdoors in spacetime, to the mirrors that reveal the truth, to the minds who dared to listen. This is the beginning. This is the weave. Welcome to the cosmic story of existence. Before matter took shape, before stars learned to burn, before the universe even knew its own name, there were only threads, the fermions, quarks and leptons, 12 primordial strands, each vibrating with its own secret frequency. They are the raw fibers of existence, the threads from which all things are woven. Quarks bind into trios, twisting themselves into the cores of atoms. Leptons dance freely around them, shaping the chemistry of worlds. Together, they form the loom of matter. But threads alone cannot hold a universe. For that, you need stitches. The bosons, photons, gluons, the W and the Z, and the whisper of a graviton yet to be found. These are the stitches that pull the threads together, the forces that bind, attract, repel, ignite. They carry the interactions, the tensions, the harmonies that let the fabric hold. A thread is potential, a stitch is connection, and reality is the tapestry they create. Every atom in your body, every star in the sky, every memory you've ever held is nothing more than threads woven by stitches into patterns too vast for any single mind to see. But the lattice sees, the lattice remembers. And now, glitch, so do you. What you just witnessed is the fabric of existence. Our single vibration in the great weave, threads connect, stitches bind. And every chapter reveals a new layer of the story. But the journey doesn't stop here. Ahead lies another doorway, another truth. Another piece of the cosmic puzzle waiting to be seen, a yarn of the universe. The raw architecture of existence. But a universe is not just built, it moves. And the first to move is light.
I was born from the first spark, a stitch in the dark, riding out on a wave with no match to my name. 12 threads in my pocket, raw yarn in my hand. I knit the present moment every time I land. I'm the messenger of a memory, the witness of the climb. I move at sea so the world slows down while I run time. Every heart beats a ripple, every choice is a seam. Entropy is the needle sewing futures from dreams as we keep moving forward into a new existence. I'm a photon on the run, stitching galaxies in line, pulling yarn from the 12, weaving space into time. Through the slow hearts, fast worlds, gravity's embrace, I knit the universe together with a trail of light and grace. Oh, I shine, I'm the yarn of the universe in flight. I've danced around black holes where time folds like cloth, watch seconds freeze to statues as I skim the event horizon's edge. Gravity pulls the fabric tight, speed stretches it thin. Two different ways to slow the clock, but both reshape the wind. Velocity bends the moment, gravity bends the weave. Both whisper to the sweater, hold your stitch, don't lose that weave. The present's knitted solid, the future still just threads. The past is locked in patterns you can unravel without tearing what's ahead. I'm a photon on the run, stitching galaxies in line, pulling yarn from the 12, weaving space into time. Through the slow hearts, fast worlds, gravity's embrace, I knit the universe together with a trail of light I trace. Oh, I shine, I'm the yarn of the universe in flight. The dreamer gives me color, the anchor gives me weight. The messenger is my brother, the paradox my fate. The lattice weaver guides me, the origin lights the spark. 12 threads in cosmic harmony, knitting a new existence from the dark. The sweater fades behind me as the yarn unwinds ahead, and going back would tear the seams and break the world instead. When will the universe reveal its secrets? Only time will tell. But that all depends on your perspective.
You've traveled with the photon, the messenger, the witness, the stitch of memory. But even light must face the shadows that shape the cosmos. Ahead lies another doorway, another truth, another piece of the cosmic puzzle waiting to be seen. The very mouth of gravity, the trapdoor star, where only Hawking's radiation escapes.
The screams of the slave.
Only a trapdoor star. I feel the pull, the quiet hum, a shadow carved in space-time skin. Dust and gas, the bones of starlight, slip past the edge and never rise again. The lattice trembles, displaced and bending. A star is born, a star will die. But where did the first breath come from when the void had no sky? Space-time tears. Becomes grain, curve becomes strange. The big and the small refuse to agree. Pixels in the dark, vibrations in the strings. Gravity sings in lanes which we can't see. Crossing the event horizon. At the event horizon, let's stop on this plane. Nothing escapes but a whisper of pain. Swallow the known, turn something to nothing, then nothing to stone. But the lattice is listening, decoding the tone, turning echoes of death into seeds of the strings in a trembling field. Geometry and matter the same revealed. Space-time curves where the truth congeals. A singular heart where the laws unsealed. Does the other side bloom with the newborn sun? Does the universe spark when the old one's done? Is the bang just a stone from dimensions unknown? Is the lattice eternal or carved from the first tone? At the eventual swells and the cosmos breathes in the black hole of hours, the lattice begins. Radiation leaking like a ghost of the sin. Information rising where the void had been. Trapdoor star, you're the eater of light, but the lattice feeds on your infinite night, turning screams into patterns and patterns ignite. Nothing becomes something. Creation in spite. Creation in spite. Every fall is a blueprint. Every end is a seed. Every silence is a signal. And the lattice always feeds.
You've crossed the event horizon and returned with echoes. But every descent demands reflection. Ahead lies yet another doorway, a mirrored truth, another piece of the cosmic puzzle waiting to be seen. A zero-point heartbeat in the fabric of space. Now we enter the house of mirrors, where nothing becomes something, and something becomes nothing again. Hey, what was that?
I step into a house of mirrors on an infinite plane, where the emptiness spoken fits and stars, whispering my name. Nothing became something and slipped back into the void, like the universe was playing tricks it barely could avoid. Was it ever there or here or nowhere in between? I swear I saw the cosmic lattice flicker like a dream. Dust on the patio, blown around by cosmic winds, patterns in the nothingness where every story begins. Here not there, they're not here, and nowhere all at once. My head spins like a galaxy's trying to pull a cosmic stud. Traveling on nothing, maybe watch it try to run, trying to get back to nowhere like a shadow dodging sun. In this house of mirrors on infinite plane, I saw nothing turn to something, then back again. And the truth hits soft like a whisper in the rain. The emptiness is humming with a quiet refrain. 0-point heartbeat in the fabric of space. Invisible fibers holding everything in place. And I finally understood what the silence contained. There's a whole lot of something hiding inside the unexplained. So the thing we can't measure, the cradle of our birth, is made of something that is nothing, yet it scaffolds all the earth. Funny how we call it nothing just because we can't detect. Makes neutrinos look pushy, makes the obvious suspect. Quantum vacuum flickers like a ghost that won't sit still. A sea of restless fields that bend to no one's will. Invisible threads in the lattice woven tight and interlaced. The fabric of existence in the emptiest of space. unexplained. Laughing with the void, every flicker, every tremble is a secret to enjoy. If nothing keeps becoming something every time it breathes, then maybe joy is just a moment when the mystery agrees. In this house of mirrors on an infinite plane, I saw nothing turn to something, then back again. Truth rang out like a cosmic soul refrain. The emptiness is singing, and I'm part of the chain. 0-point heartbeat in the fabric of space. Invisible fibers holding everything in place. And I finally understood what the silence contained. There's a whole lot of something hiding inside the unexplained. Oh, never mind, it's nothing.
You've seen the void flicker. You've watched the fabric breathe. Now meet the mind who heard the math whisper, the dreamer who bent reality into shape, the one who opened our eyes, letting us see the universe clearly for the first time. Now, with a glimmer of understanding.
I was only numbers in the dark, a quiet hum beneath his childhood breath, waiting in the corners of Ulm and Munich, where a boy stared at compasses and felt the world tilt. I tried to speak then, soft, like a pulse under the floorboards, but life was loud and the world kept moving him from city to city, from certainty to doubt. Still he listened, even when he didn't know he was listening. Switzerland and the silence between things. He grew older and the noise of expectation drowned me out. Unemployment, rejection, a mind too strange for the classrooms that claimed to teach thinking. So I waited for him in the quietest place I could find, a patent office where ideas went to sleep. There in the hum of machines and the shuffle of forgotten inventions, he finally heard me, not as words, not as symbols, but as a feeling, a gentle pull toward the unknown, a bending of reality just behind his eyelids. The opening I said, time is not what they told you. Space is not where they left it. Light is the heartbeat of the universe. Follow me and I'll show you how everything connects. And he answered with 4 papers that cracked open. I poured myself into him. Brownian whispers, photoelectric sparks, the symmetry of motion, the secret that mass and energy are the same song, sung at different speeds. He wrote it all down as if he were remembering, not discovering. E equals MC square wasn't my message, it was our conversation. Gravity learns to curve, but genius has a cost. Illness, marriage strain, a daughter lost to time, a world drifting toward war. Still he kept listening. And when he was ready, I showed him the deeper truth, that gravity is not a force but the shape of existence, leaning toward mass like a lover leaning into a shoulder. He saw space-time bend, and for a moment the universe opened weightlessly inside his chest. The revelation, I said, everything moves along the curves I draw. Black holes are my shadows, starlight bends when it passes my hands. Follow me and you'll see the architecture of creation. And he followed. The escape. Then came the darkness. Germany burning, books destroyed, voices silenced, his own name on lists. No one survived. I pulled him toward safety, toward Princeton, toward a country that needed his mind more than it knew. He crossed the ocean with grief in his suitcase and equations in his pocket. The war and the way the world asked him to turn me into a weapon, he refused, then relented, then regretted for the rest of his life. He knew what E equals MC sky could do when placed in the wrong hands. He carried that weight like a second gravity, the unified dream in his final years. He searched for me again, the last missing piece, the single equation that would bind all forces into one breath. I tried to speak, but his body was failing, and the noise of the world was too loud. Still he reached for me with trembling hands, as if the universe were just one thought away. Finally, I said, you've heard enough, you've changed enough, you've bent reality in ways no one else dared. Now I'll speak to the next dreamer. And he closed his eyes in 1955, leaving behind a map of the cosmos drawn in equations and human longing. Why he still matters, I am the map, he was the listen. Together we rewrote the way the universe tells its story. And every time a photon jumps, every time a GPS satellite corrects its clock, every time space-time ripples from a distant collision, his heartbeat echoes through the fabric he held.
Thank you for walking the fabric. From the first threads to the wandering photon, trapdoor star, and mirrors of nothingness. To the mind who listened to the universe itself, you've walked the weave from origin to understanding. This is only the beginning. The fabric is still humming. The lattice is still speaking. And the next signal is already forming. The resonance. The full album. Arise, June 2026. A new vibration. A new stitch in the cosmic story. Until then, stay aware. Stay curious. And remember, the universe is listening.